The year was 2016, and CSGO skins were one of the hottest things in gaming. But these weren't just harmless cosmetics. Some skins were worth thousands, even millions of dollars, and people could trade or sell them for real cash. Countless players were desperate to get their hands on one, hoping to strike it rich from a video game. This sparked quite a wild idea amongst two popular YouTubers at the time, TmarTn and Syndicate. Together, they hatched a diabolical plan that would turn CSGO skin trading into a full-blown online casino, where players could gamble away real money for these rare digital items. They called it CSGO Lotto, and it turned out to be one of the biggest influencer scams that has ever been on YouTube. In this video, we're diving into how it all started, why it eventually fell apart, and what made so many fans feel betrayed and disgusted. To really understand how all this happened,
Oh my god!
we need to go back and look at the world of CSGO and how it evolved. Originally, the game was only about skill. With limited movement options, players had to rely on map awareness and quick reaction times in order to be good at the game. But all of this changed in 2013 when they added the Arms Deal update, which changed the world of CSGO forever by adding weapon skins. All of a sudden, the game wasn't just about skill anymore, it was about style. Skins were more than just cosmetic items, they were status symbols. Players could buy keys in CSGO with Steam credits that would then open crates which would potentially contain one of these rare skins.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Ironically, they looked and behaved exactly like a slot machine when you would open them. By design, some skins were more rare than others, making them more valuable. Having a rare skin in CSGO and showing it off to people was like driving down the street in a Lamborghini while wearing a Rolex. As a result of this, third-party websites for CSGO skin trading and gambling started popping up all over the internet by using Steamworks API, which is the application programming interface. This meant that players were able to link their Steam accounts to these websites, which allowed them to buy and sell skins. The big problem with these websites is that there was no KYC or Know Your Customer procedure in place at all. KYC is required by law for all legitimate casinos. They need to know who you are because they are dealing with huge financial transactions. Not only does this protect the casino, but also the player. Online gambling without KYC meant that anyone and everyone could gamble on your website, including kids. In 2015, games of chance were introduced on the CSGO skin gambling websites such as coin flips and roulette, in addition to match betting. This made the underground world of skin gambling absolutely explode. Players were then able to take their chances to win massive jackpots, and because it was unregulated gambling, it was extremely easy for site owners to rig the games, which is exactly what happened. The way that this worked was by trading your skins into one of these gambling websites for a fake currency that would roughly equate to US dollars, which were essentially casino chips. You could then bet this currency on either matches or roulette spins to win more money, which you could then turn back into skins. Then you could take those skins and sell them on another website for actual real money. This created a loophole on the legal side of things so that Valve could never be prosecuted for making people below the legal age participate in gambling, because technically it wasn't gambling. But anyone with half a brain could figure out that it was. Basically, it was like allowing 12-year-olds into a casino, but the roulette table was Counter-Strike and the chips were gun skins. Most of the CSGO gambling websites were licensed in offshore places like the Cayman Islands to avoid legal obstacles. By 2016, $5 billion were wagered in CSGO gambling, with chance games overshadowing the match bets. The CSGO gambling scene was so successful that people were buying the game on Steam just to participate in the gambling. Valve, which is the company that owns Steam, which owns CSGO, were now facing a problem. But that problem was making them a lot of money. Valve quickly found themselves under fire for having the systems in place that encouraged illegal online gambling. Was Valve making underage kids participate in gambling? Well, technically yes, but because there were so many legal loopholes, it was a gray area. Because CSGO gambling made so many more people buy the game, they were raking in millions in profit. Also, they were getting 15% of every skin that was bought on the Steam marketplace. Obviously, this was a huge cash cow for them, so it was believed that they were turning a blind eye to this new and questionably illegal exploit in their system. That was until the FTC decided to take action in July of 2016. As a result of this, Valve issued a cease and desist to 23 CSGO gambling websites, and one of the websites on that list was CSGO Lotto. At first glance, CSGO Lotto looked like just another flashy gambling website, but the key thing that made it very different was the people behind it. Trevor Martin and Tom Castle, two massively popular gaming YouTubers with millions of subscribers, started making videos of themselves winning big on this brand new site called CSGO Lotto. They both acted like they were just regular users who had stumbled onto a cool new way to win rare skins.
You guys know he loves betting. He's posted a ton of betting videos on his channel and stuff, and he's been hitting me up, and we found this new site called CSGO Lotto, so I'll link it down in the description if you guys want to check it out. But we were betting on it today, and I won a pot of like $69 or something like that, so it's a pretty small pot, but it was like the coolest feeling ever. And I ended up like following them on Twitter and stuff, and they hit me up, and they're talking to me about potentially doing like a skin sponsorship. Like they'll give me skins to be able to bet on the site and stuff, and I've been like considering doing it. Like I think that'd be kind of cool.
But there was one huge detail that they failed to mention. They owned the website. Both of them. TmarTn was listed as the president of the company behind CSGO Lotto, and Syndicate was the vice president, meaning that those random wins that they were getting
Oh my god!
they were rigged. The entire thing was fake. They never disclosed that they were the owners of the website within their videos or in the descriptions. Also, on TmarTn's LinkedIn, where he proudly displayed all of his business connections, CSGO Lotto was never listed on there when the site was active. When people started calling them out for being the owners of the website, they went back to their videos and updated the descriptions to say that they were sponsored by CSGO Lotto. Then, TmarTn released this video on his channel and basically just spewed bullshit out of his mouth for 10 minutes straight.
So basically what's breaking news now is that myself and a few other people, including Tom or Pro Syndicate, own CSGO Lotto. And this is something that has never been a secret. Never been a secret. Never been a secret.
And we found this new site called CSGO Lotto, so I'll link it down in the description if you guys want to check it out. And we found this new site called CSGO Lotto. Alright, so I'm gonna open up my trade offers. Look at that. Woo! Up to a hot start, baby. Just added another $97.
Alright, so I'm gonna open up my trade offers.
The term this community uses for this type of site is gambling, and yes, a lot of the sites out there would qualify under the kind of definition of gambling. CSGO Lotto does not. It's not gambling, so let's just make that clear.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
I'm proud of what I've created so far, and I'm gonna continue working to improve it and make it better every single day. And there's nothing to be ashamed of about that. It's just, I started a business. There's nothing about that that's wrong. Every single game that I have ever played has been 100% real. I cross my heart and hope to die. I don't know how you can sleep at night knowing that you put down other people with misinformation and cause them harm. Like, how could you live with yourself? Like, how could you live with yourself? Just because I own the site does not mean that that's fake. It's no different than me playing on any other site or any other YouTuber playing on our site. Like, it literally doesn't matter. I've been pretty lucky on Lotto and on other sites that I win more than I lose. Me playing on Lotto rather than playing on other sites gives me an advantage because it promotes my own site, which makes sense for me. Like, what? What? The problem with that would be if I didn't divulge that information, and I do. You can look at the descriptions of every single one of my CSGO Lotto videos. It says in there, like, thank you to CSGO Lotto for either sponsoring or made in collaboration with, or, you know, whatever other terminology I've used in the past. Every single one of those has that listed.
This idiot actually forgot that the internet is literally a time machine, and if you look at the past screenshots of YouTube, you'll see that the descriptions of the videos were not updated until after they were caught. Also, no one has ever found live stream footage or a video of them telling their viewers that they own the website. That's a little strange, isn't it? By pretending to be ordinary users and not disclosing necessary information about their ownership of the website, they broke the trust of their audience. Because their young fans believed that they could also win big. Because if their favorite YouTubers were making thousands of dollars in skins, surely they could too, right?
Yeah, I thought it'd be more expensive. Are they more expensive stats?
For f***'s sake, dude.
No way, we did not lose again.
But it was never a level playing field. TmarTn and Syndicate were blatantly promoting a gambling site that they secretly controlled. Because they had access to the back end of things, they were able to manipulate the outcomes. At the same time, they were driving tons of traffic to the website with their videos, and making money off of every single person who lost. You were supposed to be over the age of 18 to be able to use the website, but the only form of screening that was done on CSGO Lotto was a tiny little box that you had to check to verify that you were over the legal age. They didn't require a photo ID or anything like that. The majority of TmarTn and Syndicate's audiences were kids that were well below the legal age to gamble. So not only were they lying about owning the website, they were manipulating children into gambling, which is even more terrible. These guys are most likely responsible for causing a lifelong gambling addiction amongst millions of their fans. In fact, I found some comments on old videos about this topic which guarantees that they did. And that just makes my skin crawl. Like, how could you live with yourself knowing that you are destroying the lives of young kids for your own personal gain? To me, it's absolutely disgusting.
Like, how could you live with yourself?
If you take a look at the FTC guidelines, it is illegal to not disclose a sponsorship or endorsement when you are promoting a product or service. So by acting like they were just regular players using the website and not telling people that they actually owned it, they were committing fraud. After TmarTn posted the apology videos, both him and Syndicate started deleting old videos on their channels of them betting on CSGO Lotto, essentially trying to destroy the evidence. But everyone knows that everything that's posted on the internet is there forever, even if you try to delete it. Now, I gotta give TmarTn some props here, because he was the only one who actually had balls to make a video trying to apologize and say that he was actually part owner of the website. But don't get it twisted, I don't give him too much sympathy, because he still wasn't able to take full accountability and he lied about 75% of the stuff that he was saying. He also continued to lie even after it was confirmed that he was the owner of the website from day one, claiming that he didn't own the website when he first started promoting it. I mean, come on dude, like really? Your name is on the legal documents that were filed to create the website. The only thing that Syndicate did was make a couple tweets that said this. He wasn't even man enough to talk about it on camera. After the news came out, he made a couple of tweets, deleted all of his CSGO Lotto videos from his YouTube, and continued on like nothing happened. Seems like a pretty stand-up guy, right? Alright, so like I said in the first chapter of the video, eventually the CSGO Lotto website was given a cease and desist by Valve and the FTC, and they were forced to shut down. Now, I do genuinely believe that TmarTn and Syndicate knew that this was a get in and get out type of situation. They were hoping to get in, make a bunch of money, and then get out before anyone noticed that they were the owners of the website. But if you've been on the internet long enough, you should know that people will do their digging, and if they find out that you were involved in something shady, they will expose you. Especially if you have a massive audience like these guys did. The cease and desist that the website received from the FTC was just the tip of the iceberg, because they also decided to file an entire case against TmarTn and Syndicate. This was the very first time in history that the FTC had pursued a case against social media influencers, because this was way before the explosion of cryptocurrency and NFTs, which are now very common on the internet to be run as scams by certain individuals who have a following on social media. The case from the FTC cited that TmarTn and Syndicate failed to disclose that they were the owners of the website while they were promoting it in their videos. I guess that video of TmarTn saying that it was never a secret that they own the website was a little bit of false information. Also, clearly their lame attempts at trying to cover their tracks didn't work either. Not only was this the very first time that the FTC legally came after a social media influencer, it also made them change the guidelines for disclosures on sponsorships on posts that are made on social media. They added 20 additional questions and answers addressing specific questions that social media influencers and marketers may have about whether and how to disclose material connections in their posts. Not only did TmarTn and Syndicate have to shut down their website, they were warned by the FTC that if they ever did something like this ever again, they would be fined $40,000, which at the time was the maximum amount that someone could be fined by the FTC. Now you're probably wondering if they were prosecuted for the whole CSGO Lotto thing. Well, I have some pretty unfortunate news for you. They got away with a slap on the wrist. Why? Because not only did they have a very good lawyer, they were able to get away with it because of one small loophole. Within the terms and conditions on the CSGO Lotto website, it clearly said that you agree that the company offers you an alternative method of entry to participate in any game pool, meaning that the people who used the website didn't have to bet their skins if they didn't want to. They could participate in the games of chance for free. All they had to do was email the website and ask. But everyone who signed up to use the website never bothered to read this, and it was never made clear by TmarTn or Syndicate when they were promoting it. Surprise, surprise, right? Because of this small piece of fine print, the website was technically not a gambling service. So TmarTn and Syndicate walked away with nothing but a warning for them to never do it again. This is the part that really pissed a lot of people off, because they got to keep all of the money. No fines, no jail time, no refunds. TmarTn and Syndicate walked away richer than they ever were before, while their fans were left broke, disappointed, and betrayed. Nine years later, the horrors of this scandal still echo through the gaming world. It should be looked at as everything that you shouldn't do if you have a young audience of millions of kids on social media. Nowadays, TmarTn only uploads to his second channel on YouTube called TmarTn2. He hasn't uploaded to his main channel in over 5 years. He mainly does Let's Play videos on his second channel, but his view counts aren't anywhere near what they used to be. This guy used to easily pull over 1 million views per upload, but now his videos get around 100,000 to 200,000 views. Now, I know that is still a pretty healthy number, but for a channel with over 5 million subscribers, I think that's a pretty terrible ratio. It's no question that the CSGO Lotto scandal tarnished his reputation to the point of no return. To go from once being one of the most popular gaming channels on YouTube to barely pulling in a quarter of your entire subscriber count in views is insane to me. I have read some comments on old videos about this, and some people say that he is a changed man now and deserves to be given a second chance. While some people may think that way and agree with it, I, however, do not. Both TmarTn and Syndicate fully knew what they were doing, and they thought they could get away with it. The only reason that they were sorry is because they got caught. If it was never found out that they were the owners of the website, they would have just ran with it until the FTC shut it down and then probably said something like, oh no guys, CSGO Lotto got shut down, that sucks, guess we'll have to find somewhere else to bet our skins now, and that would have been it. There would have been no accountability or taking responsibility for their actions. When you knowingly lie to your audience and manipulate kids into gambling, I think that's a pretty hard thing to forgive. There are some things that can't be undone, and this was one of them. As for Syndicate, he stopped uploading to his main channel over 7 months ago, and now he only uploads to his vlog channel. His main channel has over 9 million subscribers, and if you look at the videos that were uploaded within the last 2 years, they have the same view counts as TmarTn, around 200,000, which is even worse for a channel with over 9 million subscribers. Even for his vlog channel with over 2 million subscribers, his videos get the same amount of views, which again is a pretty bad ratio. Now, I know that Syndicate and TmarTn are still making a healthy living off of YouTube, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. This is why you should absolutely never take the risk of destroying your credibility for some quick cash. If it backfires on you, there might not ever be a way to come back from it. I do know that people are still going to watch these guys on YouTube because they probably don't even know about what they did, or they just don't care. But the whole reason I wanted to make this video is not just because it's an exciting story, but because I wanted to spread awareness on this topic. Skin gambling has been on the rise again within the last 3 years, and I think it's best if people know about these types of scandals so that they don't get caught up in one. Also, 9 years ago when this story came out, there wasn't a whole lot of coverage on it, and I know that there are some people who don't even know about it. So if you're a Counter-Strike player, take time to educate yourself on topics like this to prevent yourself from getting burned. Because if we don't pay attention, history doesn't just repeat itself, it respawns. In the end, CSGO Lotto taught us all a valuable lesson. If it smells like a scam, looks like a scam, and features 2 YouTubers jumping out of their chairs and screaming like schoolgirls every time they win, then it's probably a scam.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, bro. Please, Trevor, win this. Oh, you won it.
Oh my god!
But hey, at least the kids who used the website only lost their money and maybe developed a lifelong gambling addiction. Could have been a lot worse, right?